Hi my loves, and welcome to your cosmic weather report for the week ahead. We've got a really sweet week this week, a week that holds a lot of awakening, a lot of purpose, a lot of self-discovery, a lot of intention. Now this starts on Monday as we get Venus trine Jupiter. Such a good way to start the week. We worked with Venus quite a bit last week, if you remember. So Venus is that planet of self-worth, values, relationships, abundance, finances, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, good fortune, good luck, soul purpose, real deep higher self connection. And so as Venus trines Jupiter, a trine in astrology is a really beautiful aspect where the planets kind of blend and work together. There's going to be at the start of this week just a really beautiful sense of wanting to expand into more of yourself. We've just had that big Leo full moon, which really asks you to start to shine your authentic individual soul's light. And now this Venus meeting Jupiter is going to help us to really want to just allow more of ourselves to shine, want to allow more of ourselves to be seen, want to become more authentically and truly and honestly us, and just begin to expand into everything that's alive within us. It's also a really beautiful time for socializing, for making connections, for relationships, for putting yourself out there, for being that little social butterfly, for just letting yourself be seen in your fullest presence, in your fullest truth. And so really start the week off by perhaps feeling into on Monday morning, as soon as you get up, before you walk out into the week, like, who am I walking into this week as? How am I going to move through this week? What's this week going to bring me? What do I want to manifest and create this week? What values am I going to really hold true to and live by this week? So set a very clear intention at the start of this week of how you want to move through the week ahead and who you want to move through the week as, and then just see what happens. Now Tuesday then we get Mars trine Uranus. Now this is just going to bring such a big boost of energy. Uranus is just stationed direct, and in that stationing direct, Uranus, the planet of liberation, freedom, awakening, wants us now to free ourselves to be all of who we are, to move forwards in our lives, to throw off all the shackles and the restraints and the ways that we hide, and to just really begin to move forwards. And so as Mars trines Jupiter, Mars is that planet of motivation, drive and desire. There's going to be a very big sense then on Tuesday onwards of feeling brave and bold and daring, and just breaking free from all those expectations and opinions and the little voices that say to you, oh, don't do that. There's going to instead be this bigger voice that comes to you and says, go ahead, do it. Like, be brave, be bold. So this is such a beautiful day to put new projects into motion, to put yourself out there into the world once again, to really ask what you want, to really get clear on what it is that you want. If you were free to be all of you and do what you really truly wanted to do, what would that be? And it might not be possible right in this minute, but unless we have the vision of what we want, we're never really going to be able to get there. And so just really feeling into that inner expansion and truth, and then feeling that drive that's going to come through. There's going to be a need to want to break free from routine and break free from what's mundane and break free from what's boring. As if you've got into a bit of a life, I call it TikTok. If you're just like TikToking through your life, like TikTok, get up, go to work, do the work, come home, watch TV. If you're feeling like there's a TikTok element to your life, this is going to be a time that you're going to really want to break free from that. And so perhaps even just drive a new route to work, or if you go on a walk every day, walk a new route, or go somewhere different to walk, or do something different to just what you'd normally do or what's expected of you. It might be that you suddenly speak up in a meeting when you wouldn't normally do that, but just do something to almost like shock the status quo of your life a little bit, to shake yourself out of slumber if you feel you've been there, to just do something a little bit brave, a little bit bold. Now Thursday we get Imbolc. This is the cross quarter festival that comes between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, and it's just such a beautiful energy that comes with this cross quarter festival. It starts at sunset on the 1st of February till sunset on the 2nd of February. And it's when we start to really feel the first stirrings of spring starting to come in. And so all the seeds that have been buried beneath the earth over winter start to just very, very gently stir and come back to life. And the same happens within us. So all those little seeds beneath the surface that have been dormant, that we buried, that perhaps nothing's happened over winter, we're going to feel something wanting to stir and come to life over Imbolc. Now, the goddess Brigid rules Imbolc. It's her festival. It's a fire festival. And she's a triple goddess who looks after the healing waters, the sacred fire or the sacred flame, and the fertile earth. So Brigid is a goddess of fertility, of magic, of manifesting, of creation, of healing, and also a very deep purpose. You can really call on Brigid to help you to begin to stir your purpose awake and to feel that inner flame, inner fire start to come to life, to drive you towards all of the things you've maybe discovered in the days before that it is that you want to do. So it's going to be a real awakening. Make sure you do mark this day because it's such a beautiful moment. We're not out of winter yet. And the best way I can describe it to you is, you know those moments when you first wake up in the morning and you're not asleep anymore, but you're not awake yet, and you're in that like delicious little place in between where you're kind of still dreaming and everything still feels all cozy. That's the Imbolc energy. There's an awareness there of wanting to start to awaken, but we're in that little dream-like space. So this is a time to begin to dream of what it is that you want to bring to life over spring, of what it is that you want to manifest in your life over the spring and summer. And it's almost like beneath the surface, the earth and us are starting to take just like a little gentle stretch. We're not quite ready to move fully into spring yet, but we're starting to stir. And there's also a really beautiful myth attached to the 1st of February to do with the Cailleach. And if any of you came to the winter solstice workshop I did, we worked with her. She's an ancient Celtic goddess who rules winter. She's a wise woman, a wild woman, a medicine woman. And on the winter solstice, she gathers her firewood to see her through the winter, and it runs out on Imbolc on the 1st of February. And so the Cailleach needs to go out to gather more firewood for the winter ahead. So the legend goes that if the weather on the 1st of February is beautiful, bright, sunny day, it's because the Cailleach needs more time to gather more firewood as the winter is going to be longer. But if on the 1st of February we get kind of a really grey, miserable or rainy day, it means the Cailleach's overslept and she's not going to have time to gather as much firewood to see her through, and so the winter is going to be shorter. So in some ways, let's all pray for a bit of a grey day on the 1st of February, and that means then that winter is almost over. If you do want to work with Brigid and her energies, there is a little Imbolc pack on my website or a link in my bio that gives you 3 meditations to do with Brigid to help you to begin to awaken and return back into the world. And there's journal prompts there as well. And if you want to know more about Brigid, the Cailleach, they are in my new book, The Goddess Path, which is out in just under 6 weeks now. And I'm trying to be better now at letting myself shine and share. So I wanted to just share with you that that is going to be out there. And if the Goddess calls to you, you can pre-order it now. This then moves us into Friday. Now on Friday, again, we've just got such beautiful energy this week. On Friday, we get Mercury sextile Neptune. And so after we've kind of spent the week in a little bit of self-discovery at the start of the week, we start to find our desires, we started to stir and awaken with Imbolc. Mercury sextile Neptune on Friday is going to help us to just really deeply tap into intuition, dreams, insights. It brings such a beautiful intuitive element with it. You can really get in tune with your intuition over these days, allowing information and insights to come in, allowing your imagination to run wild of what it is that you want to bring into your life over spring, allowing a deeper inner knowing. So maybe going inwards over Imbolc to really feel into what's stirring within me, what desires are in there, what's my purpose, especially if you work with Brigid and she helps you to awaken all of this. This Mercury and Neptune sextile is just going to bring this very deep intuitive element where you're just going to be able to just know. You're going to be able to just know how you want to emerge back out there into the world. And this is going to be kind of backed up on Saturdays. We get the last quarter moon in Scorpio. Now, the last quarter moon is a part of the lunar cycle that we really start to shed and release and let go of anything we don't want to take into the next cycle with us. And with the moon being in Scorpio, this is going to take us into a very, very, very deep dive. So the moon in Scorpio can be a little bit emotional. So especially if you have been holding yourself back from who you know that you can be, if you have been holding on to things that you know let me get my words out, holding on to things that you know are no longer meant for you, if you've just been avoiding dealing with certain things, it could stir up quite a bit of emotion as the last quarter moon starts to say to you, but this is in your way. You've got to let this go. It's time to release this. Like, come on now, let this go. And equally with this is going to come a deep intuitive knowing of what you're just done with. You're going to be able to really see the truth. There's going to be a moment of truth and clarity that could start to happen on Friday around that Mercury sextile Neptune. But there's going to be a truth. And very often we avoid listening to our intuition because our intuition tells us the truth. It tells us where we're ready for change, and it's change we've been avoiding because we're scared. It tells us what we're ready to let go of when we've been avoiding letting go because we're scared. So our intuition can often be that inconvenient voice that says, you know, it's time to leave. You know, it's time to let go. You know, this isn't working for you anymore. And we've been trying to avoid it for so long. And I do believe this is why many of us ignore our intuition, because it does tell us those things that are going to require us to be brave and to be bold and to step up. But on Saturday, over the weekend, there's just going to be a very clear knowing of what it's time to shake off and release. And it's almost like, because we've moved through Imbolc as well, and Imbolc is stirring everything beneath the surface, there's going to be a clear knowing of what you want to leave behind in winter, what is no longer coming in spring with you, what you no longer want to continue to grow into your life. And so it's almost like, if you don't want to grow sunflowers, don't plant sunflower seeds. If you don't want to grow self-doubt, don't plant self-doubt seeds. If you don't want to stay stuck where you are in your life, don't keep planting those same seeds that keep you stuck in the same place. It's going to ask you to really leave behind what you're ready to leave behind in winter, so you can emerge into something different come the spring. So with this last quarter moon happening around Imbolc, it's such a beautiful time. And the little meditation pack I mentioned to you, that contains a meditation to help you to do this. But it's just a really beautiful time over the weekend to feel into, as things begin to stir and awaken within me, as I set my intention at the start of this week as to who I wanted to move into the week as and what I wanted to do, what does not serve that, what is not in resonance or alignment with that, and what am I therefore ready to begin to leave behind, so that as I do emerge out of the world, just like all the little buds and shoots start to emerge out of the earth, what's not coming with me, who am I growing into, and what do I then need to leave behind in order to get there. So we've got just such a beautiful week this week for that real, as I say, set that clear intention at the start of the week, set it, own it, claim you, and then just work with these energies as we move through the week of awakening, of purpose, of being brave and bold and beginning to break free. It's almost again like when plants break through the surface to come out. The energy of this week is about that stirring and preparing to break out and break free. And then, if you want to work with the goddess, all of that information is in bio or on website. But we've just got such a magical week, my loves. Use it. Start to free yourself. Start to feel what wants to awaken beneath the surface and what wants to be brought to life through you, because there's only you that can do that. I'm sending you so much love for the week ahead. Thank you as always for all of the love and the support with these cosmic weather reports. I love doing them for you, and I love that you take so much from them as well. So thank you. I'll be back with you really soon.